LDBC. This is your boy, Coach Shelton Harrison. You're live on the Coach Shelton Harrison Boxing and MMA Show live. And let me tell you something right now, okay? You know, I want to talk to y'all about politics, okay? I really want to talk to you guys about politics, fighters and politics. Okay, guys, listen. Most fighters, and I want to talk about this in terms of MMA and boxing, okay? Most fighters, they genuinely want to fight each other, okay? I've really, honestly, not, had a fighter or hear a fighter, actually saying they don't want to fight somebody, except for Billy Joe Saunders. Like, that's the only fighter that can actually hear say, you know what, Triple G beats everybody on the same night. Like, that's the only bout of fear that I've actually heard, like a fighter actually come out and for a fact they're really afraid of a person, okay? But most fighters, y'all, they're not educated. And when I say educated, they're not really adept at how to do business. Lots of fighters, they're not. They just don't have that background. All fighters know how to do is fight. That's it. That's what they know how to do. They can tell their promoters, look, I want to fight this person. And the promoter can choose to say, okay, we do that, or they'll give them the runaround and give them some kind of thing saying, well, let's let this fight draw out. Like, honestly, y'all, I really and truly in my heart believe that Canelo Alvarez want to fight with Triple G. I think he do. It's just, it's the politics. It's the politics that go on in the sport of boxing. And Oscar is a very good businessman, and Oscar knows that this fight is a big money fight. And really and truly, if Canelo loses to Triple G, his stock isn't going to go down. You're getting beaten by Gennady Golovkin, and this is the guy that's been touted as a monster. Okay, this is the guy that's touted as a monster. Your stock isn't going to go down losing to Triple G, and if you go 12 rounds with Triple G, can you think about how much money that'll be made on the rematch clause? Because I know that there'll be a rematch clause, and I know if Canelo lost to Triple G, he will want to fight him again. You see, it's just like Vasyl Lomachenko, and I got to give him a lot of props, y'all. He came out and just said, you know what, I'll offer, and I don't know how much, I forgot how much he offered Nicholas Walters to get in the ring. I forgot what the price was, but, Lomachenko wanted that fight, so badly that he was willing to offer money, man. Like, literally offer some of his purse to Nicholas Walters to make this fight happen. See, fighters, they just want to fight. And I can't say that Lomachenko is afraid, man. He ain't afraid, man. I just think he did want to fight Walters. And I really do believe he wants to fight Guillermo Rigondeaux. Just like I don't think Rigondeaux, I don't think that he's afraid of Walters. I don't think he ducked him. I don't think Walters, Rigondeaux, and Lomachenko, I don't think they ducked each other. These guys are caught up in the politics of business. That's all it is. They're caught up. Like, I'm going to tell you, man. I'm going to tell you why MMA is thriving. I'm going to tell you why UFC 201 can have 1.1 million pay-per-view buys. I'm going to tell you why that was a success, even though Dana White thinks it wasn't a success. I'm going to tell you why they thrive, man. Because, see, their ranking systems. You look at their ranking systems, there are a few fighters that I disagree with that are poorly ranked. I think Valentina Shevchenko, I think she was poorly ranked, okay? And I'm talking from women's MMA because that's where my channel platform is most of the time. I think she was poorly ranked. I think fighters like Marion Renault, they're poorly ranked. But I think for the most part, the top 10 in MMA, I think they do a good job of ranking and pairing these people up. I think they do. I think they do a phenomenal job of pairing these people up. And that's why that we're always getting these entertaining and exciting fights when it comes to MMA. I mean, we do. I mean, you really tell me a UFC card where you didn't see at least 3 fights, okay, that are just entertaining. You may have a fight here and there that they're not very entertaining, but most of the fights you see in the UFC or MMA period, Strikeforce, Invicta, these fights are very entertaining. And that's because they have a very good system in matching these people up. And 2, you're not allowed to duck. You're just not allowed to duck. The only really woman that I think ducked somebody was Ronda Rousey. And I think Ronda Rousey legitimately ducked Chris Cyborg. I think that was really the duck of the year or duck whatever. She ducked Cyborg. That's just the way that is. But for the most part, these women ain't afraid to take fights. And the men too, but my platform more so is with the women. They're not afraid to take these fights. They're not, and they take these fights. Now when Dana White presents a fight to them, they don't say no. They say yeah. And we always get the fights. I get the fights I want to see with women's MMA. Like, look at how Juliana Pena is calling out everybody. Like, she calling them out. And granted, the people she calling out, I don't think she can beat them. But guess what? I think she's either going to get to fight Shevchenko, or I think really and truly she may even get a title fight. I mean, based on what she's been doing in the sport, I think she is. I think she is legitimately, definitely put herself by beating Kat Zingano in position for a title shot. And she's probably going to get that. She's calling out. She's calling out these people. She's calling out the best. And guess what? The best is going to fight the best. But in boxing, fans, we got to clamor, man. We got to clamor. We got to see. We got to wait. And you look at Conor McGregor and Nate Diaz. We're getting that fight again. We're getting a rematch. Like, we ain't got to wait for it. These guys ain't even taking no tune-up. They just said, no, man. I don't want no tune-up. I'm ready to go right now. These two guys are ready to settle the score right now. They want to know who the best is. And I get that when you talk to a lot of MMA fighters. Even when I go to the gym and I talk to some of these MMA fighters, these guys, man, if you tell them, hey, man, well, so-and-so, said he was better than you. Who said that? Fighters, man, boxers, you tell them that? Well, okay, yeah, well, these guys got to beat somebody to be on my level. And I noticed that's the difference in attitude. A fighter, a boxer will tell you, well, they got to beat more people anyway and blah, blah, blah. That's what they say. But an MMA fighter, they're like, who? Who said they was better than me? Who said it? What is? It's a fight. That's the difference. And boxing, man, gonna have to come off of that. And I'm really, really, really intrigued, man, because now that I know for a fact I've seen Al Haymon with my own eyes. Okay, I've seen Al Haymon. Okay, I'm hoping that Al Haymon can get a lot of these fighters under his umbrella, because I think Al Haymon is going to take the UFC model. I think he is. I really believe that this is what's going to happen. He's going to take the model that the UFC laid out. He's going to come up with his own PBC system, PBC belts and PBC everything. And then he's going to have PBC pay-per-views. Okay? When you have a lot of these little mini fights that you're putting on these great cars and people are enjoying the fights, then he's going to have a PBC pay-per-view. See, the handwriting is on the wall. You can say you don't believe Coach Stradamus all you want to. You can say that. You can come on here and you blah, 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 but Coach Stradamus is correct. There's going to be a PBC pay-per-view. Okay, I see it now. I see what's happening. I know what it is. See, Al Haymon been doing a lot of traveling. He's been doing a lot of traveling, trying to track down young, hungry fighters. He was in my city. He was in my city for about 5 days looking at young talent in the gym. That's what he was doing. This dude is on a mission, and I'm telling y'all, by 2017, 2018, I think we may even see the first PBC pay-per-view. I don't know. I think he's trying to take it over. Or either he's going to be doing something with Showtime where, all of his pay-per-view fights will be somewhere on Showtime. See, I don't know. But I do know that PBC, they're going to take that blueprint that the UFC laid out on how to do this thing. And the best are going to fight the best. And there's probably going to be a PBC ranking system. I mean, all of that. You know what? It'll be legitimate. Because now you cut out all these governing bodies, man. You cut these guys out, and you can have one real legitimate champion in each weight class. Not all these stupid belts floating around, man, that really and truly these ranking systems don't mean nothing anyway, because they just want the sanctioning fees. That's all they want. They don't care about anything else but those fees. And that's just the way that is. That's just the way that is. Okay? They don't care about that. But if you have one body, one governing body, and you call it the PBC, and you have PBC everything. You have PBC everything. The best are fighting the best. It's a win-win situation for everybody. It's a win-win for everybody. Everybody that loves boxing is completely win-win, because the fans win. We get the fights we want to see. You know who the real champion is in each weight class. Like casual fans, they don't know who the champions are. We do. Like we do, because we follow boxing. But the casual fans, they don't follow boxing. They just want to see who the champion. It's like 5 belts. I was trying to explain this to one of my homeboys who don't even watch boxing. And he was like, well, what are all these belts, man? This dude got 5 belts. I thought it was just one belt and one this and one. See, it's a lot of confusion for casual fans. PBC gonna take all that out of it. UFC is easy. You know who the damn champion is. They're not wearing 5 and 6 belts around it. They got a belt. They have the belt in their weight class. That's it. That's all it is. But you guys tell me what you think, man. I think the PBC pay-per-view is coming. I think that, Al Haymon is working. I think we're probably maybe a year or 2 out from that. I just think that's what it is. And I think that that's going to be good for boxing. It's going to be great for fighters. They're going to get the free exposure that they need. And then your really talented stars, they're going to be on pay-per-view. And I guarantee you, the pay-per-view model that's been, doing by Top Rank, Golden Boy, That thing's gonna be dead, man. Them guys ain't gonna have pot to piss in. They're gonna have to try to do whatever they can to get in with Al Heyman. Al Heyman is a catching. He's catching, okay? And the Al Heyman fever mania is coming. And that's just the way that is. This is your boy, Coach Shelton Harrison. I'm done.